Hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Ryan in Singapore. Welcome to our mindfulness practice. We're going to get more into MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction. This 8-week course, and what is the history, what's the origin of mindfulness-based stress reduction. And it's interesting to have a look at where this course came from. This course has been kind of the gold standard for scientific research about mindfulness and its efficacy on helping people in general. So we're getting into a series. I'd say the next month or maybe 2 months, we're going to be kind of walking through MBSR, like that course itself, some of the principles inside of it. And the idea is you as a participant maybe can get some of the benefit out of MBSR. It's of course because we're doing it in these little 30-minute blocks, and it's kind of opt in, opt out, right? You can show up to as many of these courses or as many of these live events or as few as you want. I mean, maybe some of them you can't attend. So the recordings will be available on YouTube, so you can check them out if you miss any. But the main idea here is to make it accessible to you. So if you want to learn a little bit more than just some of the reading, you want some more hands-on application of mindfulness-based stress reduction, that we can kind of go through a bit of what that course is like here on these Insight Timer live events. There's another guy. It's I think his name is Dave Palouse, and he has the Palouse Mindfulness website that goes, that has like a solo mindfulness, solo MBSR experience. It's a little bit different, I think, than the traditional course, which is okay, and it's also not done in a group setting. So I think there are some benefits to having some live events like this. And just for your info, I planned to at some point make a course on Insight Timer about MBSR, but as I really thought through the logistics and just how challenging it might be for people to stick with a course like that, I think maybe this is a better way to go. And also, it makes it accessible to everyone, not just Insight Timer Premium members. So, and not to say that I won't ever put courses on Insight Timer, but I find that as part, like, go back to my New Year's resolution: do less this year, focus on cleaning house. And I have to say, with a little 1-year-old running around all the time, that I really love spending time with. It's definitely hard it's hard to get that done. It's hard to clean house, and it's even harder to add new things to my plate. So let's get into history of MBSR. 1979, Jon Kabat-Zinn was thinking, in fact, he got this idea for mindfulness-based stress reduction when he was on a meditation retreat. So on a meditation retreat, this idea just kind of came to him as it can. I think in meditation retreats, I certainly get a bunch of ideas myself. And this was one that it seemed like a really loud calling for him, that there is something really, really important about making mindfulness more accessible to people by possibly taking out some of the Buddhist elements and really focusing on the things that don't have any religious or spiritual backing to them. And I suppose the question is I guess number one, for the very first question is, how can I package this in 1979 without it sounding like I'm this kind of woo-woo spiritual new age guy, right? I certainly can't use the word meditation because of all of the assumptions and perhaps prejudices that go along with the word meditation. So is there something else that I can use to make this, a bigger success marketing wise. And so Jon's thought was, well, everyone can relate to stress and reducing stress. So let's just call it, mindfulness, because, to use a word that isn't exactly meditation, the word mindfulness was not as familiar those days. So what is mindfulness? He can kind of use this, and of course it is specific, right? Mindfulness is a particular style of paying attention. It's not, meditation and mindfulness are not the same thing. So mindfulness-based stress reduction. So who can't relate to that? Who doesn't want to be able to reduce their stress? And so then creating a course that, and in the beginning it was not as structured as it is now. He asked in the hospital and University of Massachusetts, can I have a channel on the TV? I see a lot of people in their hospital beds watching TV. Can I have a channel on the TV to broadcast some ways for people to reduce their stress? And so he recorded some of these things that maybe we use, the body scan meditation, teaching people to pay attention to their bodies in the moment, and eventually expanding this to create the stress reduction clinic. And that of course, why use the word clinic was to make it more official, more medicinal sounding, make it something that we're striving to improve people's health. And what area of the hospital was seemed ineffective perhaps was people dealing with chronic pain. And Jon asked one of the people in the hospital, like, what percentage of the patients do you think that you have an effect on? And the person answered, well, less than 20%. So whatever medications, whatever techniques that we're giving them, in fact, not really techniques, mostly controlled medicinally, wasn't very effective. And so the question then is there another way to deal with pain and to manage pain? And so I think what was really interesting about the way mindfulness approached pain is it wasn't really about eliminating pain. And not to say that people's pain didn't go away. Some patients reported that their pain minimized or reduced through using mindfulness-based stress reduction. But I think what's more important to note here is that the majority of people reported that it was their relationship to their pain that changed, especially in these situations of chronic pain, when the pain is something that probably you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. And I guess that's maybe the way to say it as well, is to deal with it. How do you deal with it? How do you relate to it? And I think that this was maybe one of the biggest issues and simultaneously one of the biggest breakthroughs of MBSR. So my pain is going to be with me instead of pushing it away constantly, instead of hoping that it's gone, because it's not going to be gone. Is there a different way for me to relate to my pain? And by the way, is it pain? What is it? What is it that I'm experiencing? And that was also a key part of mindfulness-based stress reduction, was to examine what's happening in your present moment experience with curiosity. And even the language that we use in our own minds can affect the experience itself. Is this pain? What does that mean when I use the word pain to describe an experience that I'm having? What does my attitude about that? What happens to that attitude? How does that attitude affect me and affect what I'm experiencing? And I think that's what was interesting about this story, was that as people began to investigate their pain with curiosity and roll out the red carpet and welcome their experience in the present moment, whatever it was, they found that their relationship to it changed to the point that their misery that surrounded their discomfort started to evaporate. And I think that's really what is interesting. I mean, I think I've heard this saying that says, like, pain in life, pain is mandatory, but suffering is optional. And that's kind of the deal here. Is it teaching us how to accept what it is that is happening, especially in a physical sense. And I think that's what's interesting about this history and origin of MBSR, is that it really was about the physical, noticing what's going on in the physical body, and as well starting to feel and unfold that mind-body connection, that our minds and our bodies are not two separate things, that our bodies affect our minds, and likewise the mind affects the body. You can see a lot of research and data showing how powerful the placebo effect is, because what we believe is happening, our attitudes have a very big impact on what's going on in our bodies. And so that's how mindfulness-based stress reduction got started. As that program became more structured, as the years went on, and it became a gold standard for taking a look at how mindfulness was affecting various conditions. So we use it for, to do some research as to, could psoriasis be affected by using mindfulness-based stress reduction during treatment sessions? Could all of these other things, like gastric problems, can this be affected by mindfulness-based stress reduction? So over the years, a lot of research was done to look at how effective this program was, and it was significantly more effective than placebo. So we'll get into the benefits next time, but in the meantime, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody who's here. Great to see you. We're going to go ahead and get into our meditation today, which is going to be in honor of the first meditation in MBSR, a body scan. So get comfortable. You can lie down if you like, or you can sit up straight. Allowing your eyes to close, if that's comfortable for you. And noticing that you're breathing. With each inhale, inhaling the oxygen around you, nourishing your body. With each exhale, seeing if you can let go and relax, sink a bit deeper into your bed, your sofa, your chair. Inhaling new life, new vivacity. Exhaling, relaxing, letting go. So seeing now if you can pay attention fully to the next few breaths. Fully examining all of the details of the inhalation. Fully examining all of the details of the exhalation. Feeling the body expanding as you breathe in. Releasing, contracting as you breathe out. And on the next exhale, bringing the attention down, away from the breath, away from the abdomen, through the left hip, through the left leg, all the way down into the toes of the left foot. Can you feel your toes? No need to move them, just concentrating your attention to observe whatever you feel there, any ordinary sensations that are showing up in your toes, in the sole of the foot, the left heel, the top of the left foot, the left ankle. Now beginning to move up the leg, noticing the left shin, the left calf muscle, the left knee, back of the knee, sides of the knee, and kneecap. The left thigh, quadriceps, hamstrings, front, back, inner thigh, outer thigh, up to the left hip, across the pelvis to the right hip, down the right leg, past the ankle into the toes, all the way out to the toes of the right foot. What's there? Concentrating your attention, feeling. And for some of us, we feel nothing as we explore our toes. That's okay, just trying as best you can to observe whatever may or may not be here. The sole of the foot, the right heel, the top of the right foot, the right ankle, the right shin, the right calf muscle, the right knee, kneecap, sides of the knee, back of the knee, the right thigh, quadriceps, hamstring, the right hip, the right buttock, tailbone, left buttock, left hip, front of the pelvis, pelvic bowl region, genitals, anal region, lower back. Some of us hold tension in the lower back. Examine what's happening here for you now. Accepting, rolling out the red carpet, welcoming whatever is here. The mid-back. The upper back. Shoulder blades. Up towards the neck. The abdomen. Moving with each breath. the heart, the sternum. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. Your chest. The left hand. Back of the hand. Palm of the hand. Fingers. Left wrist. Left forearm. Left elbow. Left upper arm. Left shoulder. Left armpit. And scanning over to the right shoulder and going down the right arm, all the way down to the right hand. Palm of the right hand. Back of the right hand. Fingers of the right hand. Right wrist. Right forearm. Right elbow. Right upper arm. Right shoulder. Right armpit. So are you still with me? Have you wandered off? If you have wandered off, you're thinking about something else, seeing if you can gently let go. Refocus the attention back. Come back and see if you can fully pay attention to the sensations in the neck. Softer tissue in the front of the neck, the throat, the larynx. The chin, the jaw, the teeth, the tongue, inside of the mouth, the lips, the nose, feeling air moving through the nostrils as you breathe. The cheeks, the left ear, the right ear, the left eye, the right eye, the left eyebrow, the right eyebrow, the forehead, the scalp, crown of the head, back of the head. And now, seeing if you can expand your awareness to the body as a whole, from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes, the heart, the lungs, internal organs, the legs, the arms, the muscles. What is here now, in this body, my one and only body? what's happening right now. Feeling the breath, the heartbeat, the tension, the ease. And so now we'll begin to draw our practice to its close. Let's do so by just making sure that we can completely, as best we can, pay attention to the next 3 breaths. Fully examining this inhale and this exhale. And then whenever you're ready, opening your eyes, if they were closed, feeling free to stretch out, transition out of your period of practice however you like. Thank you for practicing with me. How'd it go today? So please feel free to write in the chat. Love to hear what went on for you. If you have any questions or comments about anything at all, it can be about mindfulness-based stress reduction. It can be about anything. I'm happy to chat a little bit more. Have some. Where was it? It was like the right arm. I started to have a lot of background meowing. I think that's probably could be a little bit distracting. It's like he's early today. I don't know what's going on. He thinks like it's or maybe I'm running late. That's probably what it is. I'm running like a few minutes late, and he's like, okay, hey, Frank's internal body clock. He's just like he's spot on. He knows when food time's coming. See how nasty he looks today. How's it going, Frank? There he is. Good, looking right at the camera. Good job. Micah says, I was very distracted today. More practice needed. And I guess that's, whether you're distracted or not, there's always more practice needed. Kate shares, I only meditate for 20 minutes when I'm on my own. Thanks for sharing, Kate. I think 20, what's the right amount to meditate? That's why there's no one size fits all. I think that's a really important thing to stress about mindfulness-based stress reduction. That there's no canonical way to teach it. It has a general guideline to go through, but each course, each group of participants is going to be different. And likewise, what each person brings out of that course is going to be different. What's the primary way for me to practice? Is it going to be seated meditation? Is it going to be mindful movement, maybe some yoga practice? Is it going to be body scan? Is it going to be walking meditation? There are lots of ways to practice, and that's kind of the idea. That's in the spirit of accessibility. Can mindfulness-based stress reduction, or just can mindfulness in general, be something that everyone can tap into and start to see the benefit of? It's certainly not a one-size-fits-all, and it's certainly not a miracle cure that cures everything. So, I think we also have to be realistic about our expectations. But I have seen some pretty amazing things happen with MBSR participants. So not to say that something amazing can't happen. Thanks, CC, for your donation. There's lots of love for Frank, and he's coming back. He keeps walking back over here like, okay, is it food time yet? You guys. Yeah, I guess I do have a few cat lovers as well. I mean, that's probably, I understand. I'm obviously a cat lover myself. And not that I'm not a dog lover either, by the way. I don't know why we've always got to have the cats versus dogs argument. I like dogs too. It's just I live in Singapore, right? Like, unfortunately, dogs aren't nearly as practical when everybody has to live in a small apartment. Cats a lot easier to. Cats are a lot easier to take care of. Frank is why we come. I know that's everybody's got to have a gimmick, right? Every live streamer, or well, especially it's the internet, right? The internet's all about cats, isn't it? All right, we'll continue not tomorrow, 2 days from now, about 48 hours from now, I'll be back. That's like 47 and a half hours. I'll be back to talk about some of the benefits of mindfulness. So as mindfulness-based stress reduction was more solidified as a course and as something repeatable, as something that could be studied through these kind of scientific studies and statistical analyses. It was used with a lot of different things. So what are some of the benefits that have been verified? I think there are a lot of benefits of MBSR that have not yet been verified, but what are some of them that have been verified? We'll talk about some of that next time as we start embarking on our journey of MBSR. Let's do one more. Shake your moneymaker. Let's get him one more time. Uh-oh, can we do it? Can we get him one more time? Come here, Frank. I'm off camera. Here we go. One more, Frank. Here, wave. And as he bites me in the face, right? All right, let's send our well wishes out to everybody. I have read Altered Traits. That's a great book. It's really Daniel Goldman and Richard Davidson are the authors of Altered Traits. It's a great book. It's and it's good. It's got some storytelling in there too, so makes it a good read. Daniel Goldman and Richard Davidson are the authors of Altered Traits. If you ever want to pick that up, and if you ever want to check that out. So a lot of interesting info about Olympic level meditators. Some of this research they've done for people with 10,000 plus hours of meditation experience. Okay. Repeat after me if you like. May I be happy and peaceful. May everyone watching, listening, wherever you are, I wish you all happiness and peace. May all sentient life throughout the universe, near and far, big and small, known and unknown, may we all be happy and peaceful. Okay, take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.